You might say it's an hilarious adventure story of murderous criminals and brilliant policemen. On this level, therefore, the man who was there to succeed superbly. If nothing else, it's a magnificent tour de force of suspense writing and comedy. Carried along by the Cassiatas, you will soon find our evening carries into much deeper waters than expected, and the unforeseen denouement will prove for the modern audience, as it has for thousands who have read the book, an inevitable and moving experience when our investigators finally discover the truth. We open upon the suburb of Sophronia Park, on the sunset side of London, where a certain auburn-haired poet stood the hero. On many nights I was passing by his little black garden, might hear his high, detective voice laying down the law to men and his tragically amiable sister. And Mr. Lucian Gregor, the red-haired poet, was really a man worth listening to, only if one laughed at the end of it. Now, for a long time, the red-haired revolutionary stood without a rival. But it was upon the night of this sunset that his solitude suddenly ended. The new poet, who introduced himself as Mr. Gabriel Simons, was a very mild-looking mortal, with a fair, pointed beard and faint yellow hair. But an impression grew that he was less meek than he looked.
An artist is identical with an anarchist. You can transpose the words anywhere. Artist, anarchist, anarchist, artist. The man who likes to throw a ball is an artist because he prefers a great moment to everything. An artist disregards all governments, abolishes all conventions. If it were not so, the most poetical thing in the world would be a train station.
So it is.
Nonsense! For why do all the clerks and ladies in the railway trains look so sad and tired, so very sad and tired? I am going to tell you. It's because they know where the train is going. It's because they know that after they have passed Sloane Square, the next station must be Victoria Station and nothing but Victoria Station. Oh, their wild rapture. Oh, their eyes like stars and their souls again in Eden at the next station were uncountably Baker Street.
It is you who are unpoetical. If what you say of clerks is true, then they can only be as prosaic as your poetry. You see, the rare, strange thing is to hit the mark. The gross, obvious thing is to miss it. We feel this epic when a man with one wild arrow strikes a distant bird. Boom! An angry bird. Is it not also epic when a man with one wild engine strikes a distant station? No, chaos is dull, because in chaos a man might indeed go anywhere, to Baker Street or to Baghdad. But you see, man is a magician. And his whole magic is in this. And he does say, one ticket for Victoria Station. And lo, there he arrives, at Victoria Station. No ticket books of mere poetry and prose. And let me read an arrival and departure list with tears of pride. Oh, must you go? I tell you that every time a train comes into the station, I feel it has broken past batteries of procedures. And that whenever the train truly comes in there, I feel the sense of hairbreadth escape. And whenever I hear the guard shout out that word, Victoria, it is not an unmeaning word. It is to me the cry of a herald announcing conquest. It is to me indeed Victoria. It is the victory that Lord Adam lost. As you see, we have set our course, and lo, we have arrived.
But even then, we, the poet, must ask the question, what is Victoria now that you have got there? You think that the Victoria is like the New Jerusalem. We, the poet, No, the New Jerusalem will only ever be like Victoria, the train station. Yes. The poet will always be discontented, even in the streets in heaven. The poet is always in revolt.
See, there again, what is there poetical about being in revolt? You might as well say it's poetical to be seasick. Being seasick is a revolt. Revolt for revolt's sake is revolting. It's mere vomiting. What is going right? That is poetical. Our digestion, for instance. Going sacredly, silently aright. That is the foundation of all poetry. Yes, more poetical than the flowers, more poetical than the stars. The most poetical thing in the world is not vomiting.
Really? The examples you use?
I'll beg your pardon, ma'am. I forgot we had a Bolstall conventions.
Oh, you don't expect me to revolutionize society on this lawn, do you?
No, I don't. But I suppose if you were serious about your anarchism, that's exactly what you might do.
Whoa. You do not think then that I am serious about my anarchism?
I beg your pardon.
Am I not serious about my anarchism?
Dear fellow,
I am relevant. Ah.
Mr. Starr, do people who talk like you about relevant mean what they say? Do you mean what you say now?
do you?
What do you mean?
My dear Miss Gregory, there are many kinds of sincerity and insincerity. When you say, thank you for the salt, do you mean what you say? No, you don't. When you say that the world is round, do you mean what you say?
Yes?
No. It may be the truth, but you don't mean it. Now, sometimes a man, like your brother, really finds the thing that he does means something, but what is he doing? Tree. What?
So, is my brother really an anarchist then?
Only in the sense that we've been speaking, which is nonsense.
So, you don't really think you would do anything with bombs, do you?
Bombs? Heavens no, that sort of thing has to be done anonymously.
Sir, might I have a moment? Private conversation.
Certainly. About what?
About this! Yeah! And that! Ha! There, your precious order, that lean iron lamppost, ugly, is buried just like you. And there, anarchy, rich, living, reproducing!
Just the same, only now you only see the tree by the light of the lamp. I wonder when you'll ever see the lamp by the light of the tree. But may I ask if you've just come here to resume our pendulum argument?
Not come here to resume it, sir, but to end it forever. Mr. Sire, you have done something to me rather remarkable. You have done something to me that no man born of woman has ever succeeded in doing before.
Indeed.
Sir, you have irritated.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
I'm afraid my fury and your insults are far too shocking to be wiped away, even with an apology.
No.
No. There's only one way by which that insult can be erased, and that way, I choose. I'm going, if possible, sacrifice of my life and honor to prove to you that you were wrong in what you said. You said I was not serious. That's what you said.
You see, there are degrees of seriousness. I never said that what you thought Will was saying.
You know what the sense you think be serious? Huh? You think he had a who lets fall occasional truths? You do not think that in some deeper, more deadly sense. I am serious.
Serious? Good Lord! Is this street serious? Is that lamppost serious? Has this whole evening's caboodle been serious? One comes here and talks a pack of bosh, but I should think very little of a man who didn't keep something in the background of his life that was more serious than all this talking, more serious where there was religion or merely drink.
There, you said you have a religion, it's true, do you have one? Huh?
Oh, we're all Catholics nowadays.
Well, will you swear by whatever gods or saints this religion involves that you will not reveal what I'm about to tell you, and especially not to the police? Will you swear that? If you do, I will promise you a very entertaining evening.
Your proposal is far too idiotic to be refused. You say that the poet is always an anarchist. I disagree, but I should hope that he's at least a good sportsman. So please permit me here and now to swear as a good Christian might and as a fellow artist and comrade that I will not disclose anything, whatever this is, to the police. Now in the name of Holy Hats, what is it?
I think that we should call a cab. Will you take a little supper? The pattern for gras is not good here, but I can recommend the game.
Oh, just bring me some lobster mayonnaise. So look, lobster mayonnaise.
And to drink, do let me start you off with a half bottle of Pommery at least.
I hope you forgive me if I enjoy myself rather obviously. I don't often have the luck to dream like this. It's rare for a nightmare to lead to a lobster. Usually it's the other way around.
Oh, you are not asleep, I assure you. In fact, you are near to the most actual and amazing moment of your existence. Oh, here's champagne.
You are very good.
We are modest. We are the most modest men that ever lived on earth.
And who are we?
Simple. We are the serious anarchists, in whom you do not believe. That's us.
Well, you do yourselves well at dinner.
Yes, we're serious about everything. Of course. Now, hold tight, sir.
It looks the same.
Everything's changed. Look, emotion why I brought you here. One of those arbitrary emotions, like jumping off a cliff or falling in love. Suffice it to say, you are an inexpressibly irritating fellow. I would break 1,000 oaths just to take you down. You didn't think I was serious. Ha ha! Tell me, son, does this not strike you as serious?
2 questions. First, what is this? What is it that you oppose to? Do you want to abolish government?
To abolish God, son! Despotism and police regulations do not exist beyond the mere branch of non-conformism. But we dig deeper, we blow higher. Silly sentimentalists in the French Revolution talk to the rights of man? Ha! We hate rights! We hate wrongs! We abolish right and wrong!
And right and left.
Yes! No!
Well, I do hope you abolish them too. They are a fierce trouble.
You spoke of a second question.
With pleasure. There appears to be some attempt at secrecy. But if secrecy be your aim, then why do you parade your silly secret to every fool at Saffron Park?
Secret. You didn't believe me when I said I was a serious anarchist. They don't believe me. Unless I brought everyone to this infernal chamber, no one would believe me. I first became one of the new anarchists. I read all the anarchist pamphlets. I mastered all disguises. Oh, me, I like eating skeletons and I don't like German very much.
And who is that? Brilliant.
None were good enough, though, to hide my truth. When at last I wanted to spare to the president of the Anarchist Council, I said to him, "What will shield my truth?" And he looked at me with his large but indecipherable face. He said, "You will safe disguise. You will something nobody ever believed you'd throw a bomb.
Yes.
Dress up like an anarchist, you fool. Nobody ever believed you do anything dangerous there." And so I preach blood and murder to those silly people at Saffron Park by day and night. By Jephthah, they gave me their minds.
And what do you call this tremendous president of yours?
Sunday. You see, there are 7 on the 7 Anarchist Council. He is Sunday tonight. We elect on Thursday. You see, the person who has for some time in the past played the difficult part of Thursday has died. Quite suddenly, it was terrible.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Really?
Yes.
Simon, I feel somehow as if you were my mother.
Uh-oh.
I feel I can confide in you. Because you were promised to tell nobody. Sime?
Yes.
Simey. Oh dear. I feel it is practically certain that I am to be Thursday!
Oh, dear fellow, I congratulate you! A splendid career! I'm just going to stand over here for a little bit.
Oh, it will probably be the shortest ceremony ever. And then I'll snatch up this cloak and stick it.
Yes, jam sandwich.
Yes, that too. I love jam. And I'll step out those doors where a steamboat awaits. Oh, the wild joys of being Thursday!
you my word of honor before I came here that I would not tell your secrets to the police. Would you do me the same honor?
You have a secret?
I have a secret. Will you swear?
Yes, of course, but look quick, because here they come. What's your secret? Tell me the secret.
Well, I don't know how to put this any easier than to say that your secret is not so secret.
What?
We have known your secret for some time at Scotland Yard.
What did you say?
Yes, Officer Gabriel Syme, detective.
No! Oh, that went off.
It's not even loaded.
That's dangerous. No,
That's very dangerous. Did you even check the state out?
Wait.
Yes, it's probably good. Oh, don't be such a silly little man. Don't you see it's not needed? Don't you see that we're both in the same boat together and jolly seasick from it? Look, you are anarchists deprived of the law and order that apparently is so essential to anarchy. I am a police officer deprived of the help of the actual law and order. But the one solid benefit is in your favor. I cannot appeal to my organization. You cannot appeal to yours. But what if I betray myself? Why like that? Come. Watch me betray myself. I shall do it so nicely.
I do not believe in immortality. But if after all of this you break your word, God will make a hell only for you.
I will not break my word, nor will you break yours. I want to have a tic-tac.
Comrade Gregory.
Oh, hey, old comrades.
And, this man is a delegate, I suppose?
Oh, I'm very glad to see that your establishment here is well enough guarded to keep anyone who was not a delegate from getting in.
What branch do you represent?
Though I should hardly call it a branch, at the very least, a root.
What do you mean?
Yes, the truth is that...
What do you mean?
True. I am a Sabbatarian.
Oh, okay.
I have come to make sure that you see a due observance of Sunday.
Makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't. That's not even a thing.
It's a thing.
I suppose we better give you a seat at the meeting.
Oh, thank you. Lead the way, Comrade Gregory.
Comrades, our meeting tonight is important, though it need not be long. This branch has always had the honor of electing Thursday. We have elected many a splendid Thursdays, and we all lament the sad decease of the heroic worker who occupied the post until last week. As you know, his services to the cause were considerable. He organized the great dynamite coup of Brighton. As you also know, his death was as self-denying as his life. He died of a hygienic mixture of chalk and water as a substitute for milk. It was a beverage he regarded as barbaric and cruelty to the cow.
He loved those cows.
Upon you, comrades, it devolves this evening to choose out of the company present the man who shall be Thursday.
That's me. That's me. Oh, pick me.
If any comrade suggests a name, I will put it to a vote.
I move that Comrade Gregory be elected Thursday.
Yes.
Does anyone second?
Hi, second.
All right. Before the vote, I'll ask Comrade Gregory to make a statement.
I'll be listening very carefully.
Yes. Oh. Comrades. Oh, hey-oh. Hey. Woo. necessary for me to tell you what is my policy. For it is your policy also. Our belief has been slandered. It has been confused. It has been disfigured. But it has never been altered. The man who would seek to know about anarchism goes anywhere and everywhere except to us. Except to the fountain head. I know that you will not hear it now, though my passion were to rend the roof. For it is deep under the earth that the persecuted are permitted to assemble. Just as the Christians assemble in the catacombs. Yes. We are like the early Christians. And if there were here today a man who so immensely misunderstood us, I would say to him, what sort of moral reputation had those Christians in the streets above? What sort of, what tales were told of their atrocities from one educated Roman to another? Suppose, I would say to him, suppose we are seen as dangerous as the Christians, because we are really as harmless as the pony. Suppose we seem as shocking as the Christians, because we are really as meek. I am not meek. Comrade Gargle tells us he is not meek. His words are indeed extravagant. Yes. His appearance is ferocious, even unattractive. But only the eye of friendship, as deep and delicate as mine could perceive, the wealth of solid meekness that lies right there, in your appendix. I would challenge us all, every person. Look at your appendix. See it bursting with meekness, and then seek immediate medical attention. We are the early Christians. We are simple. Look at Comrade Book. No, don't do that. Oh, he is ugly. That is an ugly man. We are humble. Look at me. We are merciful. No. I said we are merciful. Sit down. As the early Christians were merciful, superbly careless of the slanders that represent us as assassins and executioners. I say we pursue quiet, intellectual pressure, simplicity, and brotherhood.
Yes. Comrades, would anyone at all like to oppose? Anyone? Comrade? Comrade? Anyone at all, please, would you like to oppose Comrade Gregory?
Mr. Chairman, I oppose.
Thank you, go right ahead.
What? Comrades, have we come here for this? Have we come to listen to talk like this? This is talk we might listen to while eating buns at a Sunday school treat. Down with the Sunday school buns. Do Comrade Gregory has said in all too apologetic a tone that we are not the enemies of society. But I say that we are the enemies of society, and so much worse for society. We are the enemies of society, for society is the enemy of humanity, its oldest and its most pitiless enemy. Comrade Gregory has said apologetically again that we are not murderers. There I agree. We are not murderers. We are executioners!
You are a hypocrite!
Comrade Gregory accuses me of hypocrisy. I say that Comrade Gregory is unfit to be Thursday for all of his amiable qualities. I say that Comrade Gregory is unfit to be Thursday because of his amiable qualities. We do not want the Supreme Council of Anarchy infected with mercy.
No mercy at all.
I set myself against Comrade Gregory as I would set myself against all the governments of Europe. For the man who has given himself wholly to anarchy has forgotten modesty as much as he has forgotten pride.
That's right.
I am not a man at all.
Wait, what?
I am a cause.
Say so soon.
I set myself against Comrade Gregory and say that rather have him and his milk and water council, I would set myself up for election.
Blasted madman! Stop it!
To the priest who says these men are the enemies of religion, to the judge who says these men are the enemies of the law, to the fat parliamentarian that says these men are the enemies of order and decency, to all these I say to you, you are false kings, but you are true prophets. I am come to destroy you and to fulfill your prophecies.
I move his agreement to elect Comrade Sim to the post. Sit down, you silly Frenchman.
Does anyone second this amendment?
No, don't do this. Don't do this. You can't do this. He is a...
Yes? What is he?
He is a man.
We got that.
Quite inexperienced in our work. That's it, yes.
I second the election of Comrade Simon.
No. Stop it. I end all this. Cannot elect this man. Hear me, kill me, but obey this command. You cannot elect him to the post.
Comrade Gregory commands?
Who are you? No. I kneel to you. Accept my degradation. Don't elect him. Don't do this. No.
Comrade Gregory! This is really quite not dignified. The question is that Comrade Simon be elected Thursday.
Oi!
Oh, my heart. Oh. 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 You are a devil.
And you are a gentleman.
The boat is quite ready, if you'll be kind enough to step this way.
Going on a boat? Mr. Gregory, there was something that you promised me at the beginning of this affair, and you have delivered quite well by the end of it.
What did I promise you?
A very entertaining evening.
I have often wondered if it wouldn't be better for me to do it with a knife. Some of the best things have been brought off with a knife. And it would be a new emotion to stick a knife into a French wiggle it around.
You are wrong. The knife was merely a personal expression with a personal tyrant. The bomb is not only our best tool, our best symbol. It is as perfect a symbol of us as was incense the prayers of the early Christians. It expands. It only destroys because it broadens. Even so, thought only destroys because it broadens. A man's brain is a bomb. My brain is a bomb, and it must expand. A man's brain must expand. It can break up the universe.
I don't want the universe broken up just yet. There are a lot of hard things I want to do before I die. Oh, see, there. I just thought about.
No. If the only thing is nothing, it hardly seems worth doing.
Every man knows in his heart that nothing is worth doing.
We are wandering from the point, however. I take it we should all agree to the original notion of a bomb. As to the actual arrangements, I suggest that tomorrow, Wednesday, go first to...
Before we discuss that, let us retire with more privacy. I have something very particular to say.
I care not for these games of concealment. Let us strike the enemy in the open square!
I see. And now as you control your beautiful sentiments and sit down with the other gentlemen, for the first time this morning, something intelligent is going to be said. Comrades, we have spun out this farce long enough. We're discussing plans and naming places. I propose, before saying anything else, that those plans and places should not be voted by this meeting, but left wholly in the control of one reliable member. I suggest Comrade Saturday, Dr. Bull. Not one more word about the plans and places must be said at this meeting. Not one tiny detail more about what we mean to do must be mentioned in this company. You'll probably understand there's only one possible motive for forbidding free speech at this festival of freedom. Strangers overhearing us matter nothing. They assumed that we're joking. But what would matter, even unto death, is this, that there be one actually among us who is not of us, who knows our great purpose but does not share it, who...
It can't be. There can't.
Yes, there's a spy in this ring. There's a traitor at this table. I'll waste no more words. His name? Google. Sit down. Well, my man, will you oblige me by putting your hand in your upper waistcoat pocket and showing me what you have there? I gather you fully understand your position. Do you mind leaving your beard with your card?
Not at all.
Oh, what a shame. Shit.
It was getting hot.
Is it alive?
I will do you the justice to say that you have kept pretty cool under it. Good day. Mind your step on the way out. Right. Time is flying. I must be off at once.
do not think we should further discuss the details of our plan now that the traitor has left us?
I think not. Leave it as it is. I have left it in Saturday's hands. I must be off. Breakfast here next Sunday.
I must protest, President, that the thing is irregular. It is a fundamental rule in our society that all things be discussed in the general, but of course, in the presence of a traitor, I fully appreciate your foresight.
Secretary, you're red as a turnip. If you would take your head home and boil it for a turn-up, it might be useful. I can't say, but it might.
I really fail to understand.
That's where you fail right enough. You fail to understand. You don't want to be overheard by the spy. How do you know you aren't still being overheard?
So, are you policeman?
A policeman? What would make you think of a policeman in connection with me?
You look like one.
Did I take a policeman's hat out of the restaurant? Do I have a badge stuck on me somewhere? Do my boots have that watchful look? Why must I be a policeman? But do let me be a postman. But perhaps policeman is a relative term. Yes, sir, in the evolutionary sense, the ape fades so gradually into the policeman that I myself can never detect the shade. It's the policeman who is only the monkey that may be.
Are you in the police service? Are you detective?
Your accusation is preposterous. Why must I be...
I'm one. But, as you think police relative term, of course I have nothing to do with you. Difficult as it may be to grasp this, I'm actually not even German, but rather a member of the British police. As you say, you're not in the British police force. I can only say I met you in an anarchist club, and I suppose I ought to arrest you right now. What are you laughing at?
At myself.
Pull yourself together. Here, drink this.
Did you know that man Gogol was harmless?
No, I didn't, but didn't you?
Oh, I knew no more than the dead.
thought the president was talking about me, and I shook in my boots.
I thought he was talking about me, and I had my hand on my pistol the entire time.
So did I. Well, so did Gogol, evidently. To think, there were 3 of us on the council. 3 against 4 is a mighty number.
We were 3, but if we had been 300, we still could have done it.
300 against 4.
Not even 3,000 against that Sunday.
Professor, are you afraid of this man Sunday?
Yes, I am. And so are you.
You're right. I am afraid of him. Therefore, I swear that I shall seek out this person whom I fear, and I will strike him down. If heaven were his throne and earth his footstool, I swear that I would pull him down.
How? Why?
Because I'm afraid of him. And no man should leave in this world anything of which he is afraid. As the saying goes, you're a thumb on the blade and strike upwards. Well, I say strike upwards and strike at the stars.
Sunday is a fixed star.
Huh. Well, I'm about to make him a falling star.
Do you have any idea where you're going?
Yes. I'm going to prevent this bomb from being thrown in Paris.
How?
I don't know.
As you recall, when we broke up rather hurriedly, all the plans for the atrocity had been left in the private hands of the Marquis and Dr. Bull. The Marquis by this time is probably crossing the channel, but where he will go and what he will do, it's doubtful even the president knows. Certainly we don't know. The only one who does know is Dr. Bull.
Found it? We don't know where he is.
I do.
Will you tell me?
I will take you.
You will join me. You will take that risk?
You think it possible to pull down Sunday. I know it's impossible. Therefore, I'm going to help you try. But first, we have another problem facing us.
Dr. Bull.
I believe there is no man, except the president, of course, so seriously startling or formidable as that hairy little pygmy. Depend on it, Sunday was not asleep when he left all the arrangements for the atrocity in the bulbous head of Dr. Bull. If we're to come through this interview and come out alive, or sane, we're going to need a code of signals between us. Something that the brute won't know.
Right. Word signs. Words that to us, and only us, will have fine shades of meaning. My favorite word is kerfuffle.
Oh, do stop playing the goat. You don't know how serious this is.
Liberty give it.
You do understand we're playing with potential tragedy here.
Of course. Always be comic in a tragedy. What the deuce else can you do? Oh, lush, too. We must use lush as a word.
Do you imagine we're going to talk to Dr. Bull about grass?
We might say, Dr. Bull, you seem to recall that a tyrant had once told us that we should eat grass. And indeed, many of us looking on the fresh, lush grass of summer.
My. Such a lot of guns around town and so few graves. Let's go.
That's a good getup of yours. Certainly better than Uncle Gall's. Even from the start, I thought he was a bit too soft looking.
It's a different and artistic theory. Gugol was a realist. I am a used to mix with all sorts of bad types, none worse than the great German nihilist philosopher, Professor de Worms. I didn't gather much about him except his appearance, which was very disgusting, and which I studied very carefully. I understood that he had proved the absolute principle of the universe to be God, and hence the need for an incessant and furious energy in exposing everything to the all. Everything, he said, was in the all. Well, when I met him, I was in a frivolous mood, and I took such a dislike to him that I decided to imitate him. It seems the curse of the perfect artist had fallen on me, for when I went in a room full of his supporters, instead of an insult or laugh, I was met with respectful silence, followed by a murmur of admiration. Before I could fully recover, 2 or 3 of his admirers ran up to me, radiating indignation, and informed me that an insult had been put upon me in the next room. I inquired its nature, and it seemed some impertinent fellow had dressed himself up as a parody of myself.
They mistook you for the real professor, and the real professor they took as the imposter.
Jolly folly!
Jolly
folly! Gave him a hard time.
You look like a cross between a Neanderthal and a walrus. No time for it, ma'am. We must see him straight away.
Indeed, it is of the utmost urgency. Straight to it. If he gives you grief, we shall give him reason to excuse you.
Yes.
Go!
Let him know you are here.
Go!
Well, I can understand you putting on this dirty little mustache for a night's event, but I suppose I can't understand you never taking it off again.
That's the rest of the story. Stop. Wait, stop it.
Just do me a favor and say I am the walrus.
I hurried away from that company, hoping to get far enough away to look human once again, and to my astonishment, when I turned the corner, I found myself under the shadow of an enormous policeman. "Come with me," he said, and he led me into the presence of another officer who informed me a serious campaign had been opened against the sinners of anarchy, and that my successful masquerade might be of considerable value to the public safety. Well, he gave me a good salary and this little badge, and though our conversation was brief, he struck me as a man of immense common sense and humor, though I cannot tell you much about him personally, because
you met in a dark room.
yes.
Do see yourselves in. The doctor will see you upstairs.
It's time.
The butler is in the shower.
Sorry to disturb you so early, Mynheer. No doubt you have made all the arrangements for the Paris affair. We have information that makes intolerable anything in the nature of a moment's delay.
Oh. I smell cabbage.
It's not quite stinky yet. do not think us abrupt, but we advise you to alter these plans, or if it is too late for that, to follow your agent with all the support you can muster. As I said, it is vitally urgent we get on the Marquis' track. He broke my widget.
Right. Yes. You see, the thing is that I happened to fall into conversation with a detective, and he was.
You're fluffing the cummerbund.
You're the one that made it lumpy. As I was saying, I happened to fall in conversation with a detective, and I happened to get him very drunk at the Savoy. Under this influence, he became friendly, and he told me that they were planning to arrest the Marquis in France.
You've let the chinchillas out.
Now time's over,
They're going to peak our women.
because you bought sheer drinks!
Well, if we had set the cheese out like I wanted, perhaps they would have eaten that instead.
Your cheese is old and moldy.
Don't ever expect me to go shopping with you again.
Gentlemen! Hands up! You are both under arrest for conspiracy against the French government. For possible insanity!
Oh, to think! There were more detectives than there were dynamiters on the council!
What?
Oh, Dr. Bull, I am a detective! Here's my badge!
Well, it's jolly good to have you, pals. I've been half dead with the jumps being quite alone.
Oh, I'll say, I nearly embraced poor Gogol, which would have been a tad imprudent at the time.
To think we would have fought more easily, we were 4 against 3.
No. We were 4 against 1.
At any rate, good to have you, chaps.
But how did you find yourself in the Anarchist Council as well?
Such a simple thing. You see, I wanted to go into the detective service, especially the anti-dynamite business. For that purpose, they needed someone to dress like a dynamiter, and they all swore by blazes that I could not look like a dynamiter, except one, some old josser high up in the forts with what seemed to be no end of a head on his shoulders. Look at her now, she looks like an angelic office girl. But put her in a pair of smoked spectacles, and the children will scream at the sight of her.
And so it is, my George.
Indeed. With those spectacles on, you're the exact replica of a moss-covered gargoyle.
My stomach turns at the very sight of you.
Yes, well, it was simple enough when it was done. Like a miracle, but that wasn't the miraculous part. There was something very staggering about the business, and my head still spins at it.
Oh, don't make me do that.
I'll tell you, that big of a pot of a police who sized me up, he knew exactly how my goggles would go with my hair and my socks. By golly, he never saw me at all.
How is that? I thought you spoke to him.
And so we did, but it was in a dark room.
Imagine that.
I never would have guessed.
At any rate, we must be off. I had to send that beast the Marquis ahead with his bomb because the president had his eye on me. Every time I tried to slip away, there was the president, smiling at me out of the bow window of a club, or taking his hat off to me from the top of an omnibus. I tell you, you can say what you like, but that fellow can be 6 places at once.
So you sent the Marquis off. Was it long ago? Will we be in time to catch him?
Yes, I timed it off. He'll still be in Calais when we arrive.
But when we catch him in Calais, what are we going to do?
Theoretically, I suppose we ought to call the police.
Not I. Theoretically, I ought to drown myself first. You see, I promised some poor fellow a modern pessimist. That's on my word of honor not to tell the police.
Interesting. I too have bound myself silly old I gave not to tell the police.
And I gave my promise as well.
Well, it seems that we're all bound by the same morality or immorality, so we better face the fact that comes of it. The fact of it is this. We three are alone on this planet. Gogol is gone, God knows where. Perhaps the president has squashed him like a fly. But we're worse off than that. Because first, they can appeal to their organization and we cannot appeal to ours. And second,
because one of those other men is not a man.
my idea is this. We must keep the Marquis in Calais until noon midday. And I think I may know how. So, I shall approach him and I shall say, "The Marquis de Saint Eustache." And he shall say, "This celebrity is your fine." I shall say, rather, he shall continue in the most exquisite French, "How are you?" And I shall say, in the most exquisite Cockney, "Oh, just the same."
Come on. What are you really going to say?
Oh, it's all right here, don't you see? 43 questions and answers, and some of the answers I've written for the Marquis are wonderfully witty. What? Well, it leads up to my challenge. Once the Marquis has said the 39th reply, which goes,
Has it ever occurred to you the Marquis might not say all or any of the things you put down for him?
why, how true that is.
You're as drunk as an owl, and you haven't even been drinking.
Well, it only remains for me to adopt some other method of breaking the ice between myself and the men I wish to kill.
So are you going to address the man?
I am
What are you going to do?
the most logical thing I can think of. Excuse me, sir.
Ah, you are Mr. Saib, I presume.
And you are the Marquis de Saint Eustache. Please, permit me to pull your nose.
Your nose! I'm gonna get your nose!
Next time, we'll let him keep the script.
It's dirty grapefruit. I am insulted.
Insulted? What? When?
Just now, you insulted my mother.
Insulted your mother?
Well, my aunt anyhow.
How could I have insulted your aunt? I've been sitting here this whole time.
Hi, what you said.
I said nothing at all except this comedy to about the band. I liked it when Bob was playing well.
There you have it.
What?
My aunt played Bach very badly. It was a painful subject. We are always being tormented by it.
It seems most extraordinary.
Oh, I assure you that this entire conversation has been simply riddled with sinister allusions to my aunt's weaknesses.
This is nonsense. I was just commenting on this singing of the girl with the black hair.
Oh, there you are again! My aunt's hair was red!
It seems, monsieur, that you are simply seeking a pretext to insult me.
Oh, by George! What a clever chap you are!
Seeking a fight with me? Seeking a quarrel with moi?
I've got a long manner to search you.
There are still 4 hours of daylight left.
Let us fight this evening. Okay. There. I have done it. I fixed a fight on the beast. But listen carefully. We must keep him in fight until noon midday, when the train has gone by. He misses his train. He misses his crime.
He can't refuse to meet you now, but here's what he will do. He'll choose a field near a wayside station where he can pick up the train. He's a very good swordsman. He'll trust in killing you in time to catch it.
But I can fence too. And I'm sure I can stay alive at least until the train's gone by.
Very well.
We meet tonight.
Oh, I could have sworn I had at least 2 good passes out.
No blood, nothing. The Marquis looks no more than agitated.
Well, I'll call that a success.
The train to Paris is late. A little more.
Okay? Look at these things.
Did not. I did so. I don't believe you.
That blade was in you, sir.
Why so? I saw it.
Listen to the man.
You saw my amazing feat of evasion and repulse.
We saw your amazing feat of being skewered to life.
Okay.
That is a bit irregular, isn't it?
Enough. I don't have time for this.
You don't have time to fight metal souffles.
Enough. I want to say something.
Look at this. Look at this. Right through his belly. You see it?
We are here today because you requested we should do my boss. Would you do so and do it as quickly as possible? I have to catch a train. Come, Mr. Sim. You wanted to do it, so do it. Don't be selfish. Pull my nose.
Don't! It might explode.
They do that?
Do you hear that? That is the sound of the train leaving the station. Congratulations! Sunday has us now in the palm of his hand.
Us?
I am Inspector Ratcliffe. My name is very well known to the police, and I can see well enough that you belong to them. But if there's any doubt about my position, here, my badge.
George, to think of it. There were 4 of us on the Anarchist Council. Make that 5. To think every man born was a detective, except the president himself and his personal secretary. What can it mean?
It means that we are struck dead. Don't you know, Sunday? Don't you know that all this hopes are always so big and simple that no one ever thinks of them? Can you think of anything more like Sunday than this? That he would put all of his powerful enemies on the Supreme Council and then take care that they are not so supreme? I tell you, he has bought every trust, he has captured every cable, and he has taken every railway line, especially that railway line. Half the movement was controlled by him, half the world was ready to rise for him. But there were 5 people, perhaps, who would have caught him, and the old devil put them on the Supreme Council, and to waste our time in chasing each other. Idiots that we are, he planned out our idiocies.
Sunday knew I would chase Symes through London.
And that I would fight Syme in France. Meanwhile, there the president was combining great masses of capital and seizing great lines of telegraphy, while we 5 idiots were chasing after each other like confounded babies playing blind man's bluff. Well, it means that the president has got the entirety of his enemies on a field of great rustic beauty and extreme solitude. And he knows it. world was captured by him. All that remains is the field and all the fools in it.
Wait! What is that sound?
There's a whole crowd coming from the railway station.
That is the great secret society that has come to hunt us all like hares.
There are a whole army of black masks and muskets.
And it looks like they've caught us in a nice, quiet place.
The president is not with them.
Of course he's not. If he were with them, this very ground would shake.
It's more than likely he's riding through triumph in Paris, or sitting on the ruins of St. Paul's Cathedral by now.
This is absurd. It is quite true that there's a crowd headed this way, but they're not all the army that you make out.
They? No, they are not a very valuable force. Common men, the lowest of men. But let me tell you frankly that they are precisely calculated to our value. We are not worth much more in Sunday's universe. He regards us like a trivial matter, like a postcard, something that would be left up to his private secretary.
Indeed so. There's that smiling devil Monday at the back of the line.
What can be meant by all this? Surely not all working men are anarchists, and if they were, then surely mere mobs cannot be modern army and police.
Mere mobs? So you speak as if mobs in the working class were the question? You have that eternal, idiotic idea that if anarchy came, it would come from the poor. And why would it? The poor have been rebels, but they've never been anarchists. The poor man really does have a stake in this country. The rich man, he could go away to New Guinea on a yacht. The poor man have always objected to being governed badly. The rich man have always objected to being governed at all. Aristocrats were the original anarchists.
They must be at least 100 strong.
No, more like 39.
They are an ugly mix.
No, this is all raging nonsense. If you really think that ordinary people from the ordinary rail station are anarchists, you must be madder than the anarchist yourself. Get us back to Calais. If we turned and fought these fellows, the whole town would fight with us.
No, they would fight for them.
What do you mean?
You have to get down. Jeez. Oh!
That was a shot! Someone shot at us!
Ow! I can't believe me.
I suspect those lights in the field behind us are Calais under ours. We shall soon get to them.
No, we shall never get to them.
What do you mean?
I mean, we shall never get to them. They have 2 rows of armed men across the road already. The town is in arms, as I said it was.
For us!
Oh,
They're the ones in the black mask. Get on a bit, son. Let us have a look.
it's quite true. There's an army or mass of some sort across the way.
Why, you silly mugs! What did I tell you? That sitting in a small padded cell in Hatwell, and the doctor can't make much of my case.
The devils are coming!
The thing is incredible. But what better way to go? Mr. Science? A jolly fun.
Jolly.
The world is insane!
Well, gents, what are we going to do? They've already formed two lines and have unslung their carbines. And at our front, they are charging very slowly.
I am in a padded cell.
Oh, what's the point? We shall all be dead soon.
You are quite hopeless then.
Actually, I am not quite hopeless. I can't help but wonder whether this tiny little hope is hopeless yet.
In what or whom is your hope?
In a man that I never saw. In a man in a dark room.
But Sunday must have killed him by now.
Well, if he did, he was the only one that Sunday found it hard to kill.
I too am holding hard to something I never saw.
Everything is gone. I'm gone. I can't trust my own bodily machinery. I feel as if my hand might fly up and strike me.
Well, when my hand flies up, it shall strike something else. Oh, look at that. Aha! Do you see this sword? Do you see the cross it makes at the hilt? Those men out there, they did not make this. They did not etch it. Better men than they twisted the entrails of iron to preserve the legend of sacrifice. Those men and their guns, they can make nothing. They can only destroy. They will destroy mankind. They will destroy the world. Let that suffice. But this one old Christian sword they will not destroy. It shall go down in the empire with fury. Now draw! Let us charge these dogs, for our time has come to die!
Never!
Lay them down! I arrest you in the name of the law.
Of course.
Detective Mercer, Scotland Yard.
And what do you suppose we are?
You are, as I know for a fact, members of the Supreme Anarchist Council. You see, disguised as one of you,
Oh, come on.
What?
There never was any Supreme Anarchist Council. We were all a bunch of silly policemen looking at each other. And those nice people in the field who have been peppering us with shots, they think we're the dynamiters.
I knew I couldn't be wrong about the mob.
I can't make heads or tails of Sunday's old game anymore. But whoever he is not an innocent citizen. Have you seen him? Do you remember what he looks like? I shall never be able to forget.
Yeah, 2%. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Tomorrow we have our district meeting. You'll excuse me for being well acquainted with my secretarial duties.
I suppose you're right. I suppose we will find it out from him, but I should confess that I should be at least a little afraid of asking Sunday who he really is.
Why? For fear of bombs?
Good. For fear he might tell me.
I tell you, I've seen him.
Who? Not the president?
No, not as bad as that.
Who?
Harry Man. Man that used to be Harry.
The fluffy thing. The little like ZZ Top. It was the
No, here he is.
Oh, you got dragons.
Why do you concern yourself with me? You have already eliminated me as a spy.
We're all spies here. Come, have a drink. No, sir. There has been no massacre. I'll bring you news of no such disgusting spectacle.
Disgusting spectacles? Do you mean the lovely Dr. Bull's spectacles? Of course, we all have our opinions, and even our eyes. But to call them disgusting before the woman herself?
My spectacles may be black for me, but I'm not. Look at my face.
I dare say you have as hard a face that grows on one. In fact, it grows on you. And who am I to say, I quarrel with the fruits of the wild tree of life? I dare someday it will grow on me, and you shall see.
We have no time for this tomfoolery. We have come to know what all this means. But who are you? What are you? Why did you get us all here? Do you know who and what we are? Are you the half-witted man playing the conspirator? Or are you the clever man playing the fool? Answer me!
I will rend the veil of one mystery. You want to know what you are? You are a set of highly well-intentioned young sheep.
And you? What are you?
I? What am I? You want to know what I am, do you? Dr. Bull, you're a woman of science. Go up in the roots of those trees and find out the truth about them. Science! You're a poet. Stare at those morning clouds. But I'll tell you this, you'll know the truth about the last tree and the topmost cloud before the truth about me. You will understand the sea, and I shall still be a mystery. You will know what the stars are and not know what I am. All men have hunted me like a wolf. Kings, sages, poets, lawgivers, all the churches, all the philosophies. But I have never been caught yet because you are wrong. The sky will fall the time that I come to pay. I've given them all to run for their money. And I will now.
Wait a minute! After him!
What's that?
Dr. Bull!
What about Martin Tucker now?
What the blazes?
That's all it says. What does yours say?
No one would regret anything in the nature of interference by the Archdeacon more than I. I trust it will not come to that, but for the last time, where are your galoshes? The thing is too bad, especially after what Uncle said. There he goes!
Look! Somebody here! maniacs barking! Have you ever heard a bark like that?
The dogs on Sunday would be no ordinary dogs.
Well, is that somebody's dog? Anybody's dog?
Well, this house ought to be hell. And if it is, I'm going in.
No.
It's the zoo! You hate these letters to the zoo!
Might even consider it for 2 years.
And what? Announce! Tuesday!
The word I fancy should be pink. Shh. Are you sure this shouldn't be yours? Well, I'm not at all opposed to the color. I just prefer a nice shade of almond leather.
Quiet, man! I think I hear something.
It sounds like it's getting louder.
It's a rumble. This is why I quit going to the zoo.
Great Scott! Look at that thing go!
With Sunday on it! Stop! He'll be out the gate! He's out the gate!
This way. We'll catch him down 23rd.
And do what? He's got an elephant!
I'll call a cab.
How could we have lost it?
Where did he go?
It is rush hour.
Look! Over there!
Excuse me, sir. Have you perchance seen a large, jolly fellow, large hat, riding an elephant?
Gentleman parked his mount around the side and rushed to the exhibition, sir. Funny, gentlemen, sir. You got this here for Mr. Secretary of the Central and Arkansas Council?
Here.
When the herring runs a mile, the secretary will smile. When the herring tries to fly, the secretary will die. A rustic Crawford. Why the eternal Christ? Where'd he go?
Look! Over there!
Look at what?
Look at that hot air balloon!
10,000 devils, he's got into it.
Something fell on my hat. Your beauty has not left me indifferent. A little snowdrop. Snowdrop.
Well, I'm not beaten yet. That thing has to come down somewhere. Come on. Let's follow it.
It is quite beautiful, isn't it?
Distinctly and singularly beautiful. I wish the beastly gas bag would burst.
Oh, I hope it won't. I don't want to hurt him.
Hurt him? Hurt him? Not as much as I would hurt him if I could get up there. Little snowdrop.
But I don't want to hurt him. unofficial 10 days balloon burst because he's so jolly, like that balloon itself. I don't care who knows it. I always had a sympathy for old Sunday, wicked as he was, as if he was a giant bouncing baby. How can I explain what my sympathy was? It didn't prevent me from fighting him. Shall I make it clear if I say I like him because he was so fat?
It shall not. Because he wasn't.
He was. He was fat and yet so light, just like that balloon. We always think of fat people as heavy, but he could have danced against a sylph. I now see what I mean. Moderate strength is shown in violence. Supreme strength is shown in levity. It was like that old speculation. What if an elephant can leap into the sky like a grasshopper?
Our elephant has leapt into the sky like a grasshopper.
And that's why I can't look like an old Sunday. No, it's not an aberration of force or any silly thing like that. There's a kind of gaiety in it, as if he was bursting with some good news. Haven't you felt it on a spring day? Why do I like old Sunday? I've never read the Bible myself, but that part they laugh at is literal truth. Why leap, ye high hills? The hills do leap, at least they try to. How can I explain how I like old Sunday? It's because he's such a bounder.
Well, you do not know Sunday at all. Perhaps it is because you are better than I. Do not know hell. I was a fierce fellow. He's a trifle morbid from the first. That man who sits in darkness and who chose us all, he chose me because I have all the crazy look of a conspirator. My smile goes sideways and my eyes are gloomy even when I smile. But there must have been something in me that answered to the nerves in all these anarchic men. For when I first saw Sunday, he expressed to me not your airy vitality, but something both sad and gross in the nature of things. I found him smoking in the twilight room, a room infinitely more depressing than the genial darkness that our master lives. He sat there on a bench, a huge heap of a man, dark and out of shape. He listened to everything I had to say without shaking or even speaking. Then, after a long silence, the thing began to shake. And I thought it was shaken by some secret malady. Sunday shook like a loathsome and living jelly. And it reminded me of all the things I had read about the base bodies that are the origin of life, the deep sea lumps and the protoplasm. It seemed to me the final form of matter, the most shapeless, the most shameful. I could only tell myself from its shudderings that it was something at least that such a monster could be miserable. But then it broke upon me. That bestial mountain was shaking with a lonely laughter. And that laughter was at me. Do you ask me to forgive that? It is no small thing to be laughed at, but something at once lower and stronger than yourself.
Surely you fellows are exaggerating wildly. President Sunday is a terrible fellow, for one's intellect. But he's not a Barnum's freak, physically as you would make out. He received me in an ordinary office, in a great checkbook, in broad daylight. But I will tell you what is a trifle creepy about Sunday. His room is neat, his clothes are neat, everything seems in order. But he's absent-minded. Sometimes his great bright eyes go quite blind. Now, we can't think of a wicked man that is good with absent-mindedness. We dare not think of a wicked man because we cannot dare to think of a wicked man who is honestly and sincerely dreaming. Because we dare think of a wicked man alone with himself. You see, an absent-minded man means a good-natured man.
means a man who, if he sees you, will apologize. Now, how could you bear to deal with a man who, if he sees you, will kill you? That is what tries the nerves. Abstraction combined with cruelty. Men have often wondered when they had wandered the virgin forest, when they would see the animals, pitiless and innocent. How would you like to spend 10 mortal hours in a parlor with an absent-minded tiger? Google, what do you think, Sunday?
I do not think of Sunday on principle, any more than a stare at the sun on noonday.
Well, that is a point of view. What do you think, Professor?
Professor?
I think something I can't clearly say. Rather, I think something I can't clearly think. But it's something like this. My early days, as you well know, were a bit too large and loose. When I met Sunday, I thought he was too large. Everybody does. But I also thought he was too loose. His face was so big that one couldn't focus on it or make a face at all. The eye was so far away from the nose that it was no longer an eye, and the mouth was so much by itself that one had to think of it by itself. The whole thing is impossible to explain, but put it this way. Walking up a dark road at night, I have seen a lamp and a lighted window and a cloud make of themselves a most complete and distinct face. If anyone in heaven has that face, I shall know him again. Yet as I walked a little further, I found there was no face at all. That the lamp was 10 yards away, the window 1,000 yards, and the cloud beyond the world. Well, Sunday's face escaped me. It ran away to the left and the right as such chance pictures run away. Sunday's face left me doubting if there were any faces at all. I don't know whether Dr. Bull's face is a face or an object in perspective. Perhaps one of those round lenses is quite near and the other 50 miles away. The doubts of the materialist aren't worth a dump. Sunday taught me the last and most uncommon doubt of all, the doubt of the spirit.
Have you all noticed something odd about your descriptions of Sunday? Each one of you finds Sunday quite different, yet each one of you can only find one thing to compare him to, the universe itself. Dr. Bull finds him like the earth in spring, Gogol like the sun at noonday, the secretary like the shooting's protoplasms, the inspector like the carelessness of virgin forests, the professor like a changing landscape. This is strange, but it's stranger still that I too have had my odd notion of the president, and that I too can think of Sunday as I think of the whole world.
Get out a bit faster, son. The balloon is coming down.
When I first saw Sunday, I only saw his back. And when I saw his back, I knew he was the worst man in the world. His neck and shoulders were brutal, like some sort of apish god. His head had a stoop that was hardly human, like the stoop of an ox. In fact, I had all at once the revolting fancy that this was not a man at all, rather a beast dressed in men's clothes.
A little faster.
And then the strange thing happened. I had seen his back while I was walking down the street as he sat up in the balcony. But when I entered the hotel and I came around the other side of him, I saw his face in the sunlight, and his face frightened me, as it frightened us all. But his face frightened me not because it was so brutal, not because it was so evil. On the contrary, his face frightened me because it was so good, because it was so beautiful. His face was like that of some ancient archangel, judging justly after heroic war. There was laughter in the eyes, and in the mouth there was honor and sorrow.
There was the same white hair, the same great-clad shoulders. But when I saw him from behind, I knew he was an animal. And then when I saw him from the front, I knew that he was...
Look, the balloon is landing.
For me, Sunday is the mystery, and also the mystery of the whole world. When I see the great blank back, I know that the face must just be a mask. And yet, when I see that face, but for a moment, I know that the back is just a jest. Bad is so bad that we think that good is accident. Good is so good that we think that evil could be explained. But the whole thing came to sort of crest just now. So I was racing Sunday for the cat. I was just behind him all the way. I saw that blank back of his head and had this odd notion that perhaps that blank eyeless back was really his face. An awful, awful face. Eyeless and devoid of expression, staring back at me. And that the figure running in front of me really wasn't running at all, but rather running backwards and dancing as he ran. It's horrible. No, horrible is not the word. It was the single worst instant of my life. Yet, 10 minutes later, he stuck his head out that cab window and looked back at us. I knew he was only like a father, playing hide and seek with his children.
It was a good game.
I have the secret of the whole world. It is that we've only seen the back of the world. And it looks brutal. That is not a tree, but the back of a tree. That is not a cloud, but the back of a cloud. Cannot you see that everything is stooping and hiding a face? If we could only just get around in front.
Come, child. It's time now.
What can all this mean? Is this another one of Sunday's jokes?
If it is, the kind you talk about, it's a good-natured one.
Places.
We will eat and drink later. Let's remain together a little. We who have loved each other through so much and have fought for so long. You are children. You did not forget your secret honor, although the whole cosmos turned an engine of torture to tear it out of you. I knew how you Saturday loved the lesser in spite of what was seen, and how you Friday named me in the hour of no hope.
Who and what are you?
I am the Sabbath. I am the peace of God. I am the one in the dark room who makes you all who you are.
I know exactly what you mean. And it is exactly that I will not forgive you. I know your optimism, contentment, what is it they call it thing? In ultimate reconciliation? Well, I'm not reconciled. I will not be. If you were the man in the dark room, why were you also sunbathing? An offense to my sunlight. If you were from the first, our father and our friend, why were you our greatest enemy? We wept. We fled in terror. The iron entered into our bones, and you were the peace of God? I could forgive God his wrath, though it destroyed nations, but this, I will not forgive you your peace.
Ye who knew so much of me. I never knew you because you never knew me.
I do not feel fierce like that. I'm grateful, not only for good wine and hospitality, but for a fine scampering and free fight. But I should like to know. My heart, my soul are as content here as that old garden. But my mind and my reason are crying out. I should like to know.
And you will know.
And I always found it weird that you fight amongst yourself.
I understand nothing, but I'm happy. In fact, I want to go eat.
You let me get a little too near to help.
It's okay. It's okay.
I wish I knew why I had to hurt so much.
Why does everything on the earth have to war against every other thing? Why does every small thing in the world have to fight against the world itself? Why does a fly have to fight the universe? Why does a dandelion have to fight the universe? Why? But because of the sufferance of this world's law, which is death. And we, the anarchists, we, the rebellion, we suffer as well.
Have you suffered as we?
Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of?
When a person awakes from a dream, they commonly find themselves back in the place in which they had fallen asleep. They yawn in a chair or lift themselves up with bruised limbs from the field. Rosamund's experience was something much more psychologically strange. While she could always remember afterwards that she had swooned at the vision of Sunday, she could not remember ever having come awake at all. She could only remember that gradually and naturally knew that she was in possession of some impossible good news, which made every other thing a triviality. All her insecurities, all her pain, her anger, her confusion, and heartache. All of it in the presence of this new hope became an adorable reality.
It's such a perfect time.